Hello, welcome everybody. This is Laura Alameri, and today I am very excited to have someone here on this podcast. His name is Tyrone Roberson. He's newer to the investing arena as far as real estate, but he has done things in the past as well. And I want him to share with everybody his experience because I think it's very uplifting and motivational for everybody to know people that are actually walking the talk, the real deals, as we call them, that are out there and making it happen. So Tyrone, welcome. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, hi Laura. Good to be here, and definitely glad to be here. The weather is horrible here, but I'm glad to be here. Tyrone
Yeah, and
Roberson from St. Louis, Missouri.
exactly. I just wanted to say the weather is horrible, but yeah, he's in St. Louis, which is highly unpredictable. Uh, Great. So Tyrone, I'm going to ask a few questions here just to kind of frame the call. And then, feel free to digress or add anything to it, okay?
Sounds
Um,
good.
so, Tyrone, can you tell me a little bit about your life before real estate?
Yes, life before real estate, I had a background in landscaping. My father was a landscaper, and so I had a business background, but I was an athlete, so I kind of left the family business coming out of high school, and I pursued. I thought I'd be a professional footballer or baseball player, and got injured right at the end of my college career, and that kind of brought me back to St. Louis. And so my background has really just been in landscaping. I sold my landscaping business in 2015. I didn't like the overhead and the fact that there wasn't residual income. Um, you have to do the work, or you at least have to hire people to do the work to get paid. Every single transaction is a transactional situation. And so, but my life was, had the background in business. That's kind of all I knew. But my dad had the business just for 6 years old. So that's my life. I pastored church here in St. Louis, and I took over my dad's church when he died about 9 years ago. And I had 3 kids, and my wife's 6 months pregnant now. So
Oh,
my kids are six,
congratulations.
six. Thank you. 6, 7, and 8 years old. So life's always a circus for me. And so I've always been busy. I'm used to being busy, like I'm doing now. I'm headed over to a couple of properties right now. That's why I'm driving through the rain, and so hopefully the call stays intact.
Great. And would you say there was anything in your background that especially prepared you for real estate or led you to it?
I think just the learning that the hard times are part of it. Being in business, landscaping, you have to deal with no matter how expensive your equipment is, how you have to maintenance the equipment, and then you're gonna have breakdowns. And so the other thing, you have to roll with the punches when you have those hard times. You just got to know it's just a part of the business, and you have to come back that next day ready to hit it again. So it's just the consistency element was crucial. I think that's one of the big things that prepared me for real estate, is to know that every day isn't a great day, but you continue to work at that and continue to have your strategies, and you're able to, to continue just to stay consistent. And the other thing I would say is negotiating. Like in business, everything is about negotiating. So, when I'm doing bids, I'm competing against other people that can kind of perform the same services. And so I have to understand there's something that's going to set me apart. And for me, it was my service, the quality of my service, and then I built my business around my personality. And so I knew I was going to do quality work, but I had to kind of get in the door and let people meet me. It's like, why would you choose me over, all the other 100 people that's trying to get the same, provide the same service to the customer? And so that's one of the big things I think that prepared me, is just getting out there, meeting people, using my personality for my business.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I always say. There is, when people say, well, there is so much competition out there, and I say, well, but there is only one of you.
Yeah.
And so if you remember that there is only one like you, and you put your personality, you're going to attract the right people. Because first of all, you don't want to work with everybody, right? You want to work with people that
Yes.
you can resonate with, that they're not going to drive you crazy. And that is about establishing a relationship and the personality. So yes, I agree, you have to really be in tune with who you are and who you want to attract in your life. And the other thing is, you said the consistency. To be an entrepreneur, you're going to have ups and downs in the business, any business, right?
Yes.
You can go work for somebody else, and then they'll put up with all the ups and downs, and you just get your paycheck. But if you really want to expand beyond that, then you have to know this is part of the business. But the people that really persevere and stick with it and have bigger goals are the ones that are going to succeed. So definitely. So how did you get started in real estate?
I always kind of had a passion, just kind of like a lot of people that I know. They want to get in real estate, or I want to do this, I want to do that. So I actually wanted to, and then my wife, she wanted to as well, but we didn't have the mentorship, and I'm the type of personality, I'll just jump out and do it, just to be honest. But my wife is the opposite. She's like, okay, if you really want to do this, and in 2018, what happened was that summer, she's like, you really want to do it? We're gonna have to, you show me a vision, show me a plan, and we have to get a coach. And so, and I had to respect that, because she knew I'm an entrepreneur. So of course she's seen some good days, and she's seen some bad days. I've failed in things, and I've succeeded in things. And so with real estate, she realized that the stakes are a little bit higher. Houses aren't like little $1,000, deals that I'm doing with, different multi-level marketing things. I've tried. Of course, I've always had my business, but I'm always a fan of business. I've done, you know, eBay things, Craigslist things. I've always found ways to have extra streams of income. It's just fun to me. But for real estate, the thing that got me started was my wife and I, we sat down, we created a board. We did a location, the areas that we wanted to invest in. And then we kind of put a 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10-year goals as far as, rental properties and things like that. And then we sought after a mentor, a real estate coach. And that's how we met Laura Alamary. And so it was amazing, because you were going to Brentwood. And so like, okay, well, we can go here. And you said, real estate, it was about just a real estate seminar, how to get started. Yeah. And once we sat in your seminar, it was about a group of probably 20, 25 people. But the crazy thing is, once you were about 2 or 3 slides in, your slides were paralleling our vision board. And so Tiff and I are looking at each other like, are you kidding me? And you even mentioned the very neighborhood that was on our vision board. And I was like, okay. So we were just looking at each other like, okay. And I believe in God. I believe in things that I'm not a big fan of, it was just a coincidence. I kind of feel like things just kind of align. Once you have a vision, I kind of feel like it's like everything's like a vacuum. It creates these things gravitate towards you. And, you had those 2 slides, those 3 slides, and even down to the very neighborhood. You were like, yep, I was in the Carondelet neighborhood today, and I put contract. We're looking at each other like, what? This is where we live. We live in Boulevard Heights. And so we just really, once we signed up, we realized it was going to be an investment. And wow, that was one of the best decisions we ever could have made, especially as far as real estate business went. And that's how we got started. We just kind of followed the coaching of our mentor. And being an athlete, of course, I'm always a fan of a coach. No matter how talented you are, you need a coach. You need somebody who can help guide you. I mean, from Michael Jordan down to anybody, Muhammad Ali, you need a coach. The most successful ones have a coach. And so when my wife said we need a mentor, holistically, I knew that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, and one of the important things, and thank you, by the way, but one of the important things that you mentioned is that whenever you want to do anything in life, you need to prepave that, right? And I was reading actually about what they do, the monks out in Tibet and people that want to really make a big change in their life. They go out there up on top of the mountain and reflect on what they want their life. And then they're going to write what they call a life book. And they write this life book. And then when they come down from the mountain, they, every day they really focus, pray, meditate on this life book, and then everything falls into place. So basically creating a vision board like you did, or writing down in a life book, is really basically writing how you want your life to be, from the professional level, which is real estate, to a personal level, financially, anything in your life. What is your ideal life? People want something different, but if you don't really prepave that and be very clear about it and write it down, it's really just talk, right? So yeah, definitely having a vision board or writing it down, journal, something is so important. So that's great. And so why real estate? Like you say, you had a lot of different businesses, Craigslist, eBay, whatever, but why real estate?
For us, I saw people being able to, just make residual income. You do great work getting, properties, getting rental properties, and then you can be anywhere on the map for months at a time, and you have income coming in. And then you have, we flipped the houses. I think the biggest thing that let my wife have, I flipped the house that we lived in, and we made about $50,000 because I just spent a couple of years and fixed up the house, and she was able to see, wow, this was really nice. And I'm like, yeah, this is a business model as well. This is people that's all they do is buy homes, fix them up, and flip them. And then so we've done that. So then the residual income, I'm a big fan of not having restrictions.
You said that you flipped your house and then your wife saw the profit potential. So, and that really got you excited about real estate, right? That there is something to it, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing I was gonna say, I've never worked a 9 to 5. I'm just, entrepreneurship is just, it's my makeup. I mean, since I was 9 or 10 years old, I would find a way to make my own ceilings. I hated people telling me how much I could make by the hour. I'm like, well, what if I do a good job? What if I do a bad job? I'm going to make the same amount. So that's how I was even at 9. So I learned how to cut grass around my neighborhood, and I was cutting grass, making money. And so I saw real estate as a way to not have ceilings. It's like, I don't have to have ceilings. I can do this, and I can do this and not have somebody tell me how much I can make, and not have somebody tell me that you can only do this. And that's where real estate was like, I feel like it was for me. Like, we could create our own goals, we could create our own ceiling, and that's what I had with my landscaping company. But I was tired of just working all day, and I was tired of hiring people that wouldn't do the work like I would, you know what I mean, and training them. And I'm like, man, so real estate was just the business, I think, for us, where we could do fix and flip. We can do different strategies for different markets. And I bought my house, the house that I flipped in 2016, we sold it. I bought it right after the crash, right after the recession. So I saw that, man, you can have different strategies. I bought this house for peanuts, and we flipped it and made a strong profit. This is what people do. And so my wife knew that it was a real thing. She just wanted to make sure that we had good coaching, somebody that had a track record, even within our own city, not somebody off HGTV or something, but somebody who knows how to make money in your city with different strategies and that stood the test of time, and so that's what real estate was. It's just no ceilings. You can be creative, you can, do it, and that's just my personality. That's how I'm wired, and so that's what real estate. That's what attracted me to real estate for me.
Great. Yeah, definitely it's a better return of money for your time, right? So if you have to spend 10 hours on doing things on Craigslist, or you have to spend 10 hours doing something with real estate, your per hour rate is going to be much more. The return on investment, even for the long term, is much more with real estate. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So what are your current investments right now? What are you working on?
Okay, I have a couple of properties. Just got one wholesale deal under contract last week, and I'm working on another one. I should have that one under contract on Friday. We have 6 properties we purchased. We just started last June of January 2018 or 2019. So last year is when we started investing with you as our coach, and we've done probably 10. I've probably done about 10 deals. We're holding 5 now because I just sold a rental property last month. And so right now I'm working on more wholesaling now. We have some cash flow coming in now, which is really good. The one I sold was I lost my cash flow because of a plumbing issue. So we went on and sold that, but we still came out on top. So that was good. But right now I'm just working more on wholesale until the market kind of settles, if it ever will, who knows, but
No, it never does.
right, it never does. So I feel like, wholesaling is kind of the safest thing for me, while we still have our rental income coming in. And then I have 2 properties that I am in the process of trying to flip. I'm going to go in and fix it a little bit and then flip those. So that's what I like about real estate. Like I can have multiple things going on at one time, and it excites me. It really excites me, and especially once I took my L's. My first property is the one I ended up losing our cash flow on. I got a little excited on that one and didn't do my due diligence, and it's just one of those things I learned from. But so right now I use that same I use that lesson that I learned from there, and now I'm even more of a smart investor when I go into properties and I go in and out. I know what to look for now. And that's kind of what I'm working on now. I got a couple of wholesales going on. I'm actually headed to a property to put a lockbox on it so I can get investors going in and out of a wholesale house that I have in the contract from last week.
Okay, great. Yeah, and the thing is, as you found out, each deal is different, right? You learn from every deal, but then again, you're dealing with distressed properties, you're dealing with distressed sellers and situation. So you have to really adjust to whatever the situation is going to happen. So with that said, what was your biggest mistake and as far as real estate, and what did you learn from it?
My biggest mistake is the due diligence part. Like I'm a very excitable, like, I'm an athlete, so I have this risk about me. I played running back. I was a kickoff return guy. I was that dumb guy who would catch the ball with, 11 guys running full speed for 50 yards trying to knock your head off. And so I still have that mentality sometimes, so my wife helps me with that. So I'll make a rush judgment, and that's what I did. My biggest mistake was not having the system, like specifically making sure I bring the plumber, the roofer, and the electric guy, and having them look at all the systems and like really, really exhaustively look at the systems. And
Right.
so that's really that was my biggest mistake. Just getting a little too excited before doing my full due diligence, and that was even something that I got past even your coaching, like, hey, this is what you have to do. You have to do your due diligence. But I just got a little excited because I was like, okay, I love it. Let's do it. And so, and sure enough, it came back to bite me. But that's just kind of my personality, and I have to, build a team around me that can kind of protect me from the excitableness of myself.
Well, yeah, but then your spirit, your upbeat personality, like you said, is what you bring into the business. So sometime you have, the good goes along with some of the bad. So you have to be aware
Yes.
of it and mitigate it, but you don't, keep your excitement. I love it. So
Absolutely.
what are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of the business aspect. Like turning real estate into a business. Until I met you, um, we had did that little flip, and you can do a flip every once a year or once every other year, but that doesn't mean you have a business. And so I'm most proud of turning the real estate into entrepreneurs, like where you're consistently working, consistently doing things. You have, your leads, you have your appointments, you have you're going to your meetups, you're meeting people, but making it a business where it was, because at first I didn't make the connection with my landscaping business and then the real estate business until the retreat. The retreat really helped me a lot because I really got kicked in the butt. So I'm most proud of how I was able to take that whooping that you guys gave me, you and Liz, and and
Liz is here and she's laughing about that.
okay. Yeah, so I'm really proud of just, because a lot of people, they know they need the whooping, but they won't put themselves in the environments where they can take the whooping and learn from it and go out and be better. You just kind of get in this rut. And I was in a little rut, and I actually didn't know how deep it was until my mentors and coaches showed me, hey man, that ain't you, and that's what you guys did. So that's not the Tyrone we know. That's not the Tyrone I met. And I was like, man, I said can't. And that's the word I don't even let my kids say. You know what I mean? And so I was like, whoa. So I'm most proud of, allowing people to put the mirror in front of me and then looking at it and say, oh, okay, I need to clean this up. And then, make this business go. This business won't go without the positive mindset, without the positive vision and the visionary and the projecting and putting those things out there, getting out there and not letting, no's, stop me, And so I think that's the most important thing. And just learning how to, you know, cut my losses too on that one. It was only one bad property, but I'm proud that I didn't get too attached to it. I just went on and cut my losses, and I'm glad I did that as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that people need to realize with real estate. You have to look at the whole business as a whole. You're going to have some great success. You're going to have some losses. You're going to have some break even. By the end of the year, whatever check you cut to the IRS makes you feel how
Exactly.
successful you have been. So the thing is, you have to look at the business as a whole.
Yes, absolutely.
So great. And what do you wish you would have known at the beginning that you know now?
I would say just really being like totally unmoved about, the systems. Like I was saying, like checking the systems. Each house I walk into, forget the flooring, forget not saying the flooring isn't important, but the foundation, the roof, the systems, the plumbing. Like that's something that I knew it, but I wish I'd have been like more adamant about making sure those systems are intact. And if they're not great, you're just gonna have to pay for it as a seller. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that price is gonna come off that. The cost is gonna come off the purchase price. And so that's the one thing that I wish I knew at the beginning. But thankfully, I learned it. It cost me about $7,000, but from every investor I talked to, that's a lot cheaper lesson than they've learned. And so I'm thankful that I had that now, but I wish I'd have been more of a stickler and just more steadfast on that point. Looking at the systems, looking at those crucial parts, and not either not budging on it, or just make sure that you let them know, hey, I don't want to deal with that. If I do, you're gonna have to knock this amount off the price. Had I done that, even that the house that I had go downward as far as losing the cash flow, I would have been good, because I'd have knocked that price on the front end. That price would have been knocked off on the front end instead of off the back end. So I think that, and then just making sure that I'm consistently the VA was crucial. Like you did that's one thing I picked up at the retreat last fall was the VA. Like having that VA. I wish I'd have known that on the front end, but actually I didn't need you actually taught it right. I think just the systems, because if I hadn't have done the work myself, I wouldn't really be able to, I wouldn't have a good VA because I wouldn't be able to coach them up properly
Right.
had I not done that work. So I have to
Yeah.
retract that.
Yeah, no, you have to do that. And I just want to clarify for everybody, what you're talking about, the due diligence is more for a buy and hold and fix and flip. With wholesaling, yeah, you need to be aware of things, but it really is the
Yeah,
buyers that has to do his own due diligence. So don't have to be concerned as much. At the end of the day, if the buyer comes in with a different offer because he noticed things that you didn't notice, that's fine. You have to go back to the seller and negotiate, but it's not going to put you in a spot where you're already out of the money. Where with buy and hold and
absolutely.
fix and flip, it's your money on the table that you might have to eat in your budget if things don't go as you thought. So I just wanted to clarify for everybody. Some people are new and then maybe they say, oh gosh, even with wholesaling that happens. No, not for wholesaling, really.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's very true. That's a good point.
Yeah. And as far as, do you have any specific, I know you're very upbeat, you work on vision boards, you have a church, but is there something, a book or a tool or a practice that you really like and recommend? What's something you say to keep you in this positive attitude and really keep working on everything in your life? Is something you recommend people that they do or read, or
I do.
something that was
I
life-changing
do.
for you?
Yeah, I do. Of course, I love the scriptures. There's so many principles. I majored in psychology. I minored in sociology. So I'm always a big fan of the mind, and you have to nurture, feed your mind. So I love books like the Four Agreements. I love books. Any book that's going to make sure you keep your vision healthy, that you keep your mental fed, just like you feed your natural body. I believe your mental needs to be fed like that. And so just, I like the Four Agreements. I like books. Of course, I love reading Proverbs out of the Bible. They always kick my butt, always. It's always keeping you where you can't get too comfortable or complacent. And I hate mediocrity. I don't believe we're born to be average. I believe everybody has something different. Like you said before, there's only one you. And so you have to maximize that one you, and you can't do that without intention. And I think, reading books, reading what's the book? I love books that deal with the mind, like, that deal with it. Because I believe your mind is everything. Everything functions from how you think. So if you don't nurture, there's a scripture that says, above all, you guard your mind, because out of your mind, in the heart and the mind are the same. Out of the mind flows the issues of life. All of your issues are going to come from how you think, and as a man thinketh, so is he. There's a proverb that says that as a man thinketh, so he becomes. You become what you think. And so if you're not having a book that's keeping your thinking good and fresh, and that was something, it's amazing. I had fallen away from that a little bit when I came to the retreat. And when you guys highlighted some things that I was doing, I had stopped reading. I had gotten away from reading, and it was crazy. And I lost those things I thought were natural to me. I had kind of gotten away from those, and it's simply because I stopped nurturing my mind. And negativity gets in so subtly. It comes in as a subtle force. So if you're not reading daily, if you don't have a good plan every morning before I wake up, and you guys really, I reinstituted that after the retreat. Man, you stop doing that every morning. You stop doing your meditations. You stop doing, your reading every morning. I stopped, and I literally did. And so it wasn't it didn't take a rocket scientist, I guess, for you guys to see in me, all right, dude, what's up with you? What's going on? And but it's easier to see it in other people than for it is to see it in yourself. That's why reading daily is crucial, because you can get negative really. It's a little sneaky force, it's really sneaky. So I'm big in books. I'm big in reading scriptures, reading any book that's going to deal with positive mindset. I love Think and Grow Rich. That's a book that Tiff and I started reading last year, Napoleon Hill. Just any book that deals with the mind and deals with challenging yourself and being honest with yourself. Those 4 agreements are powerful. Making sure your word is your bond. You know what I mean? And doing your
Right.
best. Things that are just really, they're really basic, but it's kind of those basics are what we kind of get away from if we're not careful.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because that's the book I'm reading right now. I never read it before. It's actually on my nightstand, The 4 Agreements. And I started reading it just a few days ago. So it's interesting that you mentioned that. So,
Thank you.
great.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome.
I know. I just like when you said that, I was like, yeah, that's why we're meant to be, connected, because you mentioned things
Absolutely.
that I can definitely relate to.
Wow,
Okay.
that's amazing.
So if you had to give the 3 best tips of advice for anybody that wants to start and succeed in real estate from your own experience, what would they be?
Number 1 is to commit to, and this is not just real estate, this is life, period. Anything that you want to do, commit to a mentor, commit to having a coach and a proven, let me say this again, a proven mentor, somebody who's proven. And I'm a big fan of that in every aspect of my life when it comes to health, when it comes to public speaking, because I do motivational videos. Anything you want to do successfully, I believe the first thing you need to do is, have a vision. And then from that vision is, I feel like the vision is going to really instruct who you need to connect with. From your vision, you need to find out what type of experts, what type of mentors that you need. So that's the second thing, is the coaching. The first is have a vision. What do you want? What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What do you want to do? And then second is, now you know who you need to go after based on your vision. I believe your vision orders your discipline. Whatever discipline you have, it has to be ordered from, if you want to lose 50 pounds, now your discipline can work for something. Your discipline works for your vision. So your first thing is vision, second thing is a proven coach, and third thing is listen to your coach and be consistent to accountability. Be accountable. Be accountable to the coach. It's no use of, and as an athlete, it's just kind of second nature for me, because I was forced to have a coach. I was forced to listen, and if I didn't, I would have to leave their program. But you're talking 4 or 5 years being in a program, and then so 1, vision, 2, coach, 3, be accountable, take action. Take action is number 3, really. Take action. When you get a coach, you get a coach for action. You don't get a coach to sit on the sidelines. You get a coach to get in the game, get on the field, take action. And that's something that I've seen people get coaching and never take action. And it's an absolute waste. It's disgusting. It's a waste. You wasted money, you wasted time. And even as a mentor to others, I tell them, look, if you're not going to take action, you're wasting your own time. You're wasting my time.
Right.
Like you gotta, you get coaching for action. So take action is number 3.
Right. To me, coaching, because we hire coaches too for business and marketing. And to me, having a coach is really to have sometimes a sounding board. You need, like you said, when you
Yes.
came to the retreat, somebody call you out on it and say, hey, what are you doing? We know that's not the way you are. So you want somebody that
Yes.
gets to know you, that you're not just a name or a number, somebody to say, hey, Tyrone, hey, Laura, what's going on? Yeah, I know what you can do. I know what you're capable of. So let's do it. Let's work on that and really zero in on
Yes.
your potential. So that's what the coach needs to do, right? To really zero in on your potential and expand on that. We're not going to be good at everything, but there are some things even within the
Right.
business that you're going to be best at, like your personality, your way you connect with people, and it's something that's just you. And so to really
Right.
leverage that for the business and knowing that is your strength, even sometimes your weaknesses can be your strength because people can relate to that. That's priceless, and to really do that, that's all you need to do. Just zero in on the best. And a coach sometimes most of the time, a good coach at least, can bring those out of
Yes.
you and really say, okay, this is what you need to do. That's what you need to work on. And that's it. That's the switch that's going to make things click for you. So
Can I say something else too about the
sure.
coaching part? Coaches protect you as well. because sometimes when you're doing something wrong or you're about to do something wrong, coaches protect you based on their experience, you know, and that's something that I saw even with the commercial building that we just bought last year, actually a year ago on the 28th. I almost made a mistake 4 different times, but I had a coach. I said, hey, you know, I knew guy's big commercial buildings. He's done it for 20 years. I had him come and look. He's like, hey, coaches protect you. My first
Right.
deal I ever did, you protected me. You protected me. I could have lost everything. My wife would have never let me continue in real estate had you not walked with me through that deal. And it was very complex. And it was so complex that there was no way for me to do that deal without a qualified coach like you. It was too many different things moving. I wouldn't have been able to catch it.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah,
Oh
so
my
thank
gosh.
you. Yeah, no, but like you said, everything is you learn, and that's to me, that's the great thing about real estate. You know, it's not a routine business. Everything is different, and it challenges you, to really learn and be the best you can and be of service. And that if you keep those in
Yes.
mind, then you're never going to be old. I mean, honestly, the real estate investor, I had my mentor, she passed away in 98. I had another mentor in real estate. She's 91 years old and she's still sharp and doing deals. And the moral of the story, I always say, real estate keeps you young, but it's because it really activates your mind. It gets your mind working and being out there and, providing solutions. So thanks again. Thanks, Tyrone, for all the input. I liked these stories because I think it can help and inspire other people. Coming, for me, saying certain things sometimes that, yeah, she's been doing it for so long. But when it comes from somebody that's out there right now, really on the uprise and really creating their own business, it means a lot to a lot of people. So they feel that they're not alone with all the struggles and the things that they have along the way. So you are an inspiration for a lot of people, and you're doing great. You are a success story. And, please stay in touch. We are going to have another retreat. It's going to be virtual this time because of everything going on. So in September, I would love for you to we're going to have retreats a little different. We're going to actually introduce some advanced classes for people like you that have already a business. So I'm going to actually teach you some advanced strategies. And so I hope you're going to be part of it. I hope you're going to attend.
Absolutely. I definitely plan on attending for sure. I know Tiff's going to have the baby in early October. So, but no, I appreciate you guys. And I'm definitely, like I said, you guys are not getting rid of me. I'm connected for life
Good.
because you guys have definitely helped me in more ways than you guys even understand. So thanks for the opportunity. Anytime.
Thanks, Tyrone. Good luck with everything, and I'm sure we're going to be talk very soon. And the next time I'm in St. Louis, let's go out, okay? Let's go have for
Absolutely.
dinner.
Yes. Tell
Yeah,
me when you come in and we'll get together for sure.
definitely will. Okay, thanks again.
Thank you, Laura. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.